Holistic Soul Sisters. It's me, Mandy Rose, your holistic health coach, spiritual mentor, and astrologer. This is our first astrology video of 2022 here on the Holistic Soul Sister TV YouTube channel. I am so excited to dive into Mercury's first retrograde of 2022. He'll actually be doing 4 retrograde journeys throughout this entire year, and the first one is coming up now, January 14th. So in today's video, we're going to talk all about who is Life Coach Mercury, what lessons is he trying to teach us. We're going to talk about what we're supposed to learn when he does a retrograde, and then specifically the dates that you need to keep in mind for his retrograde coming up from January 14th until February 3rd. And of course, I'll give you guys some do's and don'ts at the end of this video. If you have your 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal, you're going to want to open it up for this video to the Mercury Retrograde page. You'll see here that not only do I list in more detail on Life Coach Mercury and the retrogrades, but I also have listed here what you can expect and a perfect time to do certain activities. You're going to go ahead and also fill out your journal prompts. Something that I always say when you're filling out your retrogrades during the retrograde season in this journal is fill them out at the beginning of the retrograde, check back in during the middle of the retrograde, and then when the retrograde is over, come back and look at your journal prompts, see what you answered, and see how much you've grown or processed through that retrograde period. So if you guys don't know who I am, again, I'm Mandy Rose. I'm a relational astrologer. So what that means is I help people have a better relationship with themselves by understanding their birth chart and not who the world tells them to be. But I also help people have better relationships with each other. For instance, parents have a better relationship with their children by understanding their birth chart, how they learn, what their love language is, what their special talents and abilities are, so they can help foster their children from a young age to meet their soul's purpose. And then also in relationships, compatibility, helping couples understand one another, but also in businesses, helping business owners understand the energy that they have with their business, with their employees, or good times for you to launch businesses or not, depending on your personal birth chart. So let's dive into this video all about Mercury retrograde. This retrograde is going to start on January 14th. This is a really big deal in the astrology. There is so much energy potent in the sky right now. We have Venus still retrograde. We have Uranus still retrograde. And now Mercury is going to go retrograde. On this date, January 14th, when Mercury goes retrograde, I'm going to post the chart here for you. This is the birth chart of Mercury's retrograde. And you can see from the chart here that Mercury is going to be in a square with Uranus on the day that he kicks off his backwards journey. Uranus is the planet of sudden jolting change, of sudden unexpected moves, of getting information or things happening that just shock us. And so Mercury is our planet, our life coach of communication. He is all about the mind. So let's dive into who is Life Coach Mercury. I want to give you guys a very good understanding of this player in the sky. Mercury is meant to help us communicate better with other people. He also helps us process data, gather information, figure out how we think and why we think certain ways, and then to take all those thoughts, data, and information, and then communicate them out into the world. So he is constantly showing us information that we need to know, better ways of interacting and engaging with other people. He also rules technology because we use technology to communicate, right? Via social media, computers, laptops, cell phones, all those things. And he also rules travel, more so short distance travel. So traveling to your neighborhood, traveling to your family, traveling those short-term distances. Now, because Mercury rules these areas of our life, when he goes retrograde in the sky, retrogrades just mean he's going backwards in the sky, retrograding, re-going over a certain area of the sky, that is a period of us also engaging in activities that use the word re. So we don't move forward. We're not running on to new projects or the next thing or the next thing. Retrogrades are about taking a pause and reassessing what's going on in our life so that we don't rush forward in the wrong direction. So Mercury being communication, technology, travel, how we gather information, who we communicate with, how we communicate. When he goes retrograde, we reflect. Reanalyze, reassess, redo, restructure, re-game plan, re-anything that has to do with these areas of our life, communication, technology, and travel. So that is what we should be doing during a Mercury retrograde. Slow down. So some things you don't want to do is you don't want to launch new projects, right? Because we need to rethink the things that we've already come up with. We don't want to sign contracts because that has to do with communication and verbal agreements, right? We don't want to buy new technology, a new computer, a new cell phone, because he's having us actually revamp what we have. Make sure that you back up technology. Make sure that you have all your data downloaded somewhere safe. Make sure you have a screen protector on your cell phone. These kind of things, so we protect what we have and we analyze the information we already have instead of trying to gain more. So that is Mercury's retrograde. Now, he retrogrades for 3 weeks. During this 3-week period, you're going to want to think about the things in your life that maybe aren't moving forward, that aren't working for you, things that are stuck. Why are they stuck? Are you having difficulty communicating with certain people? Are you having difficulty maybe moving a contract forward? Just pause, because you will gather more information during this retrograde period. Now, Mercury is going to be retrograding through the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So right now from the chart, we can see that as he enters his retrograde, he is going to be at 10 degrees of Aquarius. So if you have your birth chart available, go ahead and look at your birth chart and find Aquarius, the zodiac sign of Aquarius. It looks like 2 little waves. Right here, I'll post it. When you look in that area of your chart, 10 degrees is where Mercury is going to be at the moment of his retrograde. And then he's going to back up all the way into Capricorn. If you have your 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal, again, you're going to see in this Mercury Retrograde page that it says from 10 degrees of Aquarius with an arrow back to 24 degrees of Capricorn. This is the area of the sky that Mercury will be doing his backward dance through. So if you have any planets, anything going on in your personal birth chart between 10 degrees of Aquarius back to 24 degrees of Capricorn, you will be more heavily impacted during this retrograde. So here's the thing. Aquarius is an air sign, and he is retrograding backwards into Capricorn, which is an earth sign. Last year, every single Mercury retrograde that happened in all the air signs. It happened in Aquarius, it happened in Gemini, and it happened in Libra. But in 2021, it's going to be happening in those same signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. But instead of staying in just Aquarius, he's actually going to be going from Aquarius into Capricorn, going back into Earth energy. So last year, all Mercury retrograde in air signs. This year, all Mercury retrograde in air into Earth. So what does that mean? Air is the mind. Air is how we think. Think of how air acts. It's here, it's there, it's floating, it's processing, it's creative, it's all over the place. But if it's all over the place, how can we take the thoughts that are up here and birth them into reality if we don't put them in practical, tangible methods of operation? That's what the Mercury retrogrades are doing in 2022. They are taking all the ideas that we've gathered, all the new ways of thinking, all the goals that we want to accomplish, all the new inventions, all the new things, all the data, all the information, all the things that we have received in our mind in 2021, and helping us implement them into our reality, turning them into our reality. So this is our first opportunity during this Mercury retrograde. It's going to retrograde in Aquarius. Aquarius is out of the box thinking. It is what I say, the crazy inventor vibes, the alien of the zodiac, the one who thinks differently, who wants to invent something that isn't even thought of by most people. So right now, Mercury is in Aquarius. Remember, Mercury rules communication, how we gather information, and the way that we think. And being in Aquarius, he's able to think outside of the box. He's able to think very futuristic. He's able to see all the possibilities and do things that are going to change the world. But unless we put them into action, unless we put them on paper and birth them, create the foundation, create the business, create the product, do the thing with our hands, with our mind to hands, it's never going to come to fruition. So as he backwards dances through Aquarius, we're going to rethink, reanalyze, restructure, re-game plan, retake all the things, and then we are going to put them down into tangible things. So how are we going to launch this business? How are we going to create this product? Who do I need to communicate with? How do I need to market myself on social media? Am I getting the right message across? So that is a huge thing that's going to happen during all Mercury retrogrades. But right now with this one, even more important. Capricorn is all about achieving our goals, creating success and getting to the top of the ladder and being recognized for our achievements. So this is a beautiful Mercury retrograde to begin with. So let's go over some of the dates to keep in mind. This date has already passed, but on December 29th, Mercury was at 24 degrees of Capricorn, and he went from 24 degrees of Capricorn up to 10 degrees of Aquarius, where he sits now on January 14th, the date that he's going to turn around and go all the way back from 10 degrees of Aquarius back to 24 degrees of Capricorn. So from December 29th until January 14th is what we call the pre-shadow phase. Mercury's already done his dance over this part of the sky. So think back, what topics, what themes, what communication, who have you talked to, what ideas, what information have you gathered from December 29th until January 14th? Because these are the things that are going to be coming in reflection as Mercury goes right back over this part of the sky, bringing it back up, being like, oh, that idea I had, okay, I really need to think about that. Is it tangible? What do I need to do to get there? What are my goals? How am I going to make it happen in a real world way? So think back to those dates. On January 14th, when he goes retrograde, he is going to be in a square with Uranus. I already mentioned that. Uranus, sudden jolting change. So we're thinking with our mind. We have these thoughts. We've gathered some information. We have communicated with certain people. And now, as Mercury goes backwards, and I was like, wait, hold up. Maybe I don't need to run forward with that yet. Maybe I need to backtrack a little bit. We're going to get a sudden, unexpected revelation. As Uranus is like, okay, actually, you didn't know this. Or maybe this was a missing piece of information that you didn't know. So you can't go forward because you need to deal with this piece of information. Or you have a communication with someone and they drop a bomb on you and you're like, whoa, okay, I thought we'd be great business partners, but maybe we're not going to be, right? And then we go into this reflection period of Mercury's retrograde. Then on January 23rd, Mercury will be halfway through his retrograde, so also a very important day. It's what we call a cazimi. He will be in the part of the sky where the sun smashes him in. And on this day, this is where we start to have the ahas, a lot of energy of like, oh my God, that idea is going to work, or oh my God, that idea won't work, or oh my God, this person is someone I want to continue communicating with, or oh my gosh, this person is someone I need to reach back out to. It's kind of that halfway point of the Mercury retrograde where a lot of light bulbs come on. Now on January 18th, Uranus, this planet who gave us this like last little bomb with our information, with our communication, with our technology, with our travel, is coming out of retrograde. So during Mercury's retrograde, Uranus drops his bomb and then he comes out of retrograde and he gets back on track and he moves on forward. So this is a big day because anytime Uranus moves forward or backwards, there's a massive shift of energy in our world. And not just in a personal level, but in a very collective level. So it could be a natural disaster. Uranus rules natural disasters, electricity. There could be electricity outages, technology issues. So things that have to do with our tangible physical goods. So be aware of that. Venus comes out of retrograde on January 29th, and she's been retrograding in Capricorn, the same part of the sky that Mercury is in, retrograding as well. Capricorn, again, our success, our values, climbing the top of the mountain, how we want to achieve things, finding our order of priorities, these kind of things. So Venus has done a whole retrograde dance here, helping us realize maybe I don't value that. Maybe I need to prioritize that. Maybe I love this for myself. Maybe I don't love that anymore. Maybe I don't love this person anymore. So Venus comes out of retrograde January 29th. Then Mercury is going to dance for a couple more days backwards till February 3rd. On February 3rd, as Mercury comes out of retrograde, we now have Uranus out of retrograde, Venus came out of retrograde, and then Mercury ends his first retrograde of 2022. And now we are retrograde free for 12 weeks. This is the only 12 weeks of the entire 2022, of the entire year, where we will have no active retrogrades. This is major, you guys. This is major. This is go time. This is to take all that information that you gathered through Venus's retrograde. What do I value? What do I love? What do I want to create? Like, who do I want to be? And Mercury's retrograde of I have all these ideas and I want to create this project and I want to change my life. And now these are the things I'm going to do because I created tangible goals and restructured things. And now it's go time. So Keep that in mind. We're going to talk more about that when it comes to the astrology. Make sure you follow the Holistic Soul Sister Instagram page. I'll put it here, holistic.soul.sisters. I do a What's in the Stars every Saturday over on the Instagram page. So you're going to get little blurbs on a week-to-week basis of major things happening in the astrology, energy that's going on, what the different planets are doing, things that we need to be aware of. So we're going to talk so much more about that. Now, also keep in mind that if you have your 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal, you are going to see that we also talk a lot about the sun seasons. As the sun lights up different areas of our life, there are different things that we should be accomplishing and doing and taking care of. So if you want more information on that, you can purchase your 2022 Retrograde Astrology Journal. Find it in the description box below. I will ship it out to you. You will get it within a couple days. You haven't missed anything yet. We've only had one new moon, and this is the first retrograde of the year. There's so many more astrological events, so let's get that in your hands so you can maximize your potential for the upcoming year. Also, if you missed the 2022 astrological forecast event, it was amazing. It was 2 hours packed full of me giving you information of what each month holds for us energetically based on the astrology. So what months you should take action, what months are going to be more for retreating and healing, what months are going to be times to party and celebrate. And I'm also giving you a lot of information in that webinar on who are our life coach planets, what lessons are they trying to teach us, what kind of drama and chaos are they getting into with each other this year, and how are we going to feel that? If you want to purchase the replay to that, you will find it in the description box below as well. And lastly, like I do in all these retrograde videos, I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts that you should be doing during Mercury's retrograde from January 14th until February 3rd. So the first do is revamp your social media. This is a really pivotal time because you shouldn't be launching new products, you shouldn't be signing contracts, you shouldn't be finding new things to do. You should be taking the information you have and making it wow. So go through your social media. What is the message you're sharing? Are you sharing the right message? Are you presenting yourself the right way? Are you being heart-centered? Because Aquarius is all about being a humanitarian. So revamp your social medias, judge them up, make them perfect. So when you launch those projects and it's go time during the no retrograde phase, then you'll be ready to propel yourself forward. The other do is you want to back up all your technology. This is a great time for you to get that external hard drive organized, to take the things on your computer and upload them into a safe space, take the things off your cell phone in case you ever lose your cell phone. Since Aquarius rules technology, Mercury rules our social media and technology, and he's going to be retrograding. This is the time you might break and drop your cell phone or lose your cell phone, or your computer gets coffee spilled all over it and turns off. So very cautious with your technology, back them up, be really safe. Now, everyone's more curious usually about the don'ts. So don't sign contracts. I've already mentioned this. This is not a time to launch a business, get married, sign a lease on a house, like all these things, because things can get missed during Mercury retrograde. Communication can be off. You think one thing, the other person thinks the other thing, you sign the contract, and then later it's completely misinterpreted. Just wait. Mercury retrogrades teach us patience. We don't need to be running forward all the time. Sometimes we need to take a pause and reassess before we take action. Another big don't for Mercury retrogrades is don't get upset by misunderstandings. It's very common for two people trying to have the same goal or actually having the same conversation to be completely misunderstanding one another. So because Mercury is in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, which is the humanitarian sign, when we get into these miscommunications, just take a pause. Try to listen from a different perspective. Try to see the best in the other person. Misunderstandings will happen, and it's your challenge, your lesson from Mercury to navigate the miscommunication and still have a positive outcome. So you might get some of those lessons during this retrograde. And lastly, you are not going to want to engage in any type of malicious conversation. I see constantly during Mercury retrogrades that people send the wrong text to the wrong person. So they're saying something about someone and they accidentally send it to that someone. Or they're dating like two people at once and they say the wrong person's name. Be very careful with like gossip, malicious comments, hurting someone's feelings, because Mercury retrogrades are going to teach you that lesson of why you shouldn't engage in that. So be very careful. All right, guys, so I give you so much information. I hope it's valuable for you. Make sure you follow us at Holistic Soul Sister Instagram page. If you are a part of our private Facebook community, I'm so honored to have you in that sacred space. Every Sunday, we do Soul Growth Sunday, where we connect and collaborate and talk about a personal development topic where you can take it and share it with the world. And we're going to be doing our first New Moon Circle virtually in that Facebook group. So if you are interested in that, you can purchase tickets through Eventbrite. It's going to be an hour and a half where we do a sacred moon ritual together. If you've always been interested in doing a new moon ritual or a full moon ritual, and you don't know where to begin, you will be doing one in the safety of your own home with us virtually. I'll be pulling a tarot card for everyone on the call. We'll be doing some journal prompts and some other mindfulness practices. So I'm really excited to connect with you from all around the world. Jump into our private Facebook community, again, link below, or purchase the ticket on Eventbrite, and I will hopefully see you there. It's going to be on February 1st for the new moon in Aquarius. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe. So many more astrological videos coming up for you guys to make sure you're always up to date with the astrology of the upcoming year, but also going to be giving you guys so much more holistic health and healing videos in 2022, so stay tuned for that as well. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Happy Mercury retrograde.